Greetings and welcome to the Warhammer 40,000 kill team video, where today I'm going over the Canoptek Circle kill team. But before we go into things, thanks goes to Games Workshop providing this to review for free. As always, I aim to be honest, impartial and constructively critical. And please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video if you found it useful and helpful. Remember, I've got a Discord you can check out for free in the episode description below, and a affiliate code on games, and a affiliate Discord at Crossfire Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. But let's get on with today's video. So starting off with the Canoptek Circle kill team roster, you are an 8 operative kill team. You have the Geomancer leader. You have 2 Canoptek Circle Tomb Crawler operatives, one with a Ghost Reaper and one with the Trans-Dimensional Isolator, but you can only have one of those. Then you've got the Canoptek Accelerator, Reanimator, and then 3 warriors, either with Gorse Scalpels or Tesla Casters. They're going to live stream it on Twitch. And they have Recon and Security, which is not too bad. It's a little bit worse than it was, but it's solid. Going over your faction rules, you have the Obelisk Node Matrix. As a strategic gambit in the first turning point, place your 3 Obelisk Node markers wholly within your territory. As a strategic gambit in each turning point after the first, you can move your Obelisk Node markers up to 3 inches each. Your Obelisk Node markers control other markers within 1 inch of them that no enemy operatives contest. Treat your Obelisk Node markers as friendly operatives for this purpose. If more than one player would use their Obelisk Node markers to control the same marker, no Obelisk Node markers control it. Whenever one of your Obelisk Node markers is within 6 inches horizontally of another one of your Obelisk Node markers, those markers and the area between them create an Obelisk Node Matrix. Above and below. In other words, their height in the kill zone is irrelevant. If all 3 of your Obelisk Node markers fulfill this, it creates a larger combined Obelisk Node Matrix. Whenever a friendly Canoptek Circle operative is within your Obelisk Node Matrix, weapons on its data cards have the accurate 2 weapon rule and add 1 to its APL stat. So below in the diagram, you have within 6 inches creates the Obelisk Node Matrix. And then more than 6 doesn't work. And then it just shows you the combinations of how it works. So it's a bit wordy, but effectively, when they're in pyramid formation, or I like to call them the perfect triangle, they're great. So they can control they control markers as long as no one else is around. And if you're in the mirror, they cancel each other out. But while you're inside, so you don't have to be wholly within, you can just be within, then you get the benefit of everyone being +1 APL and it'll gain accurate 2. It is quite slow moving, and it's generally going to be in a position where it's camping your objective and maybe going for the mid, right? It's going to take a while to move up, but otherwise it's solid. It's just complicated. It takes a while to get your head around it. The most annoying thing is when these move under terrain, because it's just going to be annoying to move stuff 3 inches and then make sure they're all within range. But you've got ways around that. Then for strategy ploys, you have hyper shielding. Whenever an operative is shooting a friendly Canoptek Circle operative, if your Obelisk Node Matrix is intervening or that friendly operative is within your Obelisk Node Matrix, you can reroll any of your defense dice results of 1 dice, so ceaseless saves. That's pretty solid. Then you've got Trans-Dynamic Amplification. Whenever a friendly Canoptek Circle operative is shooting, if your Obelisk Node Matrix is intervening or the target is within your Obelisk Node Matrix, that friendly operative's weapons have the ceaseless weapon rule. So that's pretty solid. Either punishing opponents inside or if you're shooting from your Matrix. Really useful. Then you've got, oh my gosh, Cryptogravitic Repulsion. Once per activation, the first time an operative would move within your Obelisk Node Matrix, the distance is treated as an additional 1 inch. Notice this means that if an enemy operative doesn't have sufficient move distance, e.g. it's at the end of its move, the operative cannot move within your Obelisk Node Matrix. So this is really good, especially if you put your Matrix just in front of an accessible terrain piece or door, because it means your opponent now has to -2 from their movement to move in and threaten you. Very, very useful. Then you've got Soul Drain. Whenever an enemy operative is within your Obelisk Node Matrix, or whenever it's fighting or retaliating against a friendly operative that's within your Obelisk Node Matrix, subtract 1 from the both damage stats of the enemy operative's melee weapons to a minimum of 2 until the end of their activation or counteraction. Note that this means if an enemy operative moves through your Obelisk Node Matrix, apply the change at the end of that move action until the end of the activation or counter action. So effectively, it's some really nice damage negation. So this is mainly into melee teams, but considering melee teams are so popular and like everywhere at the moment, there's some great piece of tech. So solid strategy ploys there. Then for firefight ploys, you've got animate obelisk nodes. So enemy pylons. Use this firefight ploy when it's your turn to activate or counteract. Move any number of your obelisk node markers instead. They can move up to 6 inches combined, and distances are always rounded up to the nearest inch. So if you move a marker 1.5 inches, it's treated as moving 2 inches, for example. If you could move one marker 6 and then free 1 inch, or any combination that doesn't exceed 6 inches in total. You can also move them 0 inches to effectively skip an activation, and then your opponent activates as normal active afterwards. This is very useful, especially for moving. Like all of a sudden, you can have your node, like Matrix, move 9 inches in a turning point. Very, very good. And it counts as an activation pass. Very good. Then you've got shield flare. Use this firefight ploy when an attack dice inflicts normal damage on a Canoptek Circle operative. If your obelisk node Matrix is intervening, or that friendly operative is within your obelisk node Matrix, ignore that inflicted damage. Note your opponent determines intervening terrain, i.e. where they're on the operative base to draw the targeting lines from. So it's effectively a conditional just a scratch, which is still useful. Then you've got nodal response. Use this firefight ploy during a friendly Canoptek Circle operative's activation. Before or after it performs an action, you can change one of the strategy ploys you use during this turning point. Only pay additional CP if that ploy costs more, or use a strategy ploy now and pay its CP cost as normal. So this is like basically a way to switch your ploys around, so you can kind of get some nice reflexive, like reactive play and catch out your opponent if they weren't expecting stuff, especially if you want to like switch and activate the movement ploys and stuff, like the anti-movement ploys. So this is really useful. Then you've got the sacrificial Thrall. Use this firefight ploy when a friendly Geomancer operative is selected as a valid target for a shoot or fight action within 3, and then you just redirect. It's get down Mr. President and has no effect against blast or taunt weapon profiles. Very, very useful. It just makes your leader harder to kill, and people want to kill your leader. So very, very good. You can redirect in combat and shooting. Very useful. Going on to operatives, we have your Geomancer leader. It has 3 APL, 6-inch move, 3 up save, and 14 wounds. The Tremorglaive part matter weapon is 4 attacks, on freeze, 4/5, piercing 1, piercing crits 2. So if you roll a crit, it's piercing 2. Then you've got the Tremorglaive Quake, which is 6 attacks, hitting on freeze, 1 free damage, blast 2, seek light, stun. Very useful. Then you've got the Tremorglaive Sweep, which is 4 attacks, on 4s, 4/5, severe shock, stun. Very solid in combat. Then you've got Obelisk Node Control. Whenever this operative will perform a mission action, if it requires this operative to control an objective marker, you can instead determine control from one of your Obelisk Node markers. See Obelisk Node Matrix faction rule. Whenever this operative will perform the operate hatch action, you can open or close a hatchway that's access point is within 1 inch of one of your obelisk node markers instead. Note that you still must fulfill the operate hatch actions conditions. So effectively, you can kind of reach out for the node to do mission actions and stuff. Very, very good. Kind of replaces like interstitial command. Then you've got Molecular Breach for 1 action point. As a support action, select one friendly Canoptek Circle operative visible and within 6 inches of this operative. Alternatively, select one friendly operative visible to this operative and within your obelisk node Matrix. Support doesn't apply to this selection. The next time this selected operative performs an action in which it moves, don't move it. Instead, remove it from the kill zone and set it back up wholly within a distance equal to its move stat, or 3 inches if it was a dash of its original location, measuring horizontal distance only. In a kill zone that uses close quarters, e.g. 2-mode or Gallowdark, this distance can be measured over and through wall terrain, and the operative can be set up on the other side. Note that it gains no additional distance when performing the charge action. It must be set up in a location that can be placed, and unless it's a charge action, it cannot be set up within control range, and you cannot perform this while within control range of an enemy operative. So you can yeet someone, but you have to time it right. So it only works the first time you move. So if someone's not within range and you need to dash to get into range, you would do the teleport dash and then not do your full move. So you have to play this like quite cannily. Now it is kind of crazy with the bigger operatives, but you have to remember they're on 50 mil bases and they're only moving 5 inches. So this teleport is very good, but you're only moving a max of 5 inches. It can move through Galadark walls, but you have to time it right. What you want to do as the Geomancer when you're using Molecular Breach, you want to do this when it's like the friendly operative you're targeting on is like next to a Galadark wall or wall it can teleport through, and then it has the movement to like reposition through and then shoot, you know, that kind of stuff. So it is strong, but it's a bit limited because it's not like a 12-inch teleport. Then you've got Canoptek Control for 1 action point as a support action. Select 1 friendly Canoptek operative visible to and within 6 inches of this operative. Alternatively, you can select 1 friendly Canoptek operative that's visible to this operative and with your Obelisk node Matrix. Support doesn't apply to this selection. That selected operative can immediately perform a 1 AP action for free. It cannot move more than 2 inches during that action. This operative cannot perform this while within control range, so you can just like make someone move 2 inches or do a free yeet, and it's less restrictive than the Canoptek Circle version, so extra movement is nice. Then you've got Geomantic Disturbance for 1 action point, or as I like to call it, I cast Rock. Select a point on a terrain feature, and that point must be visible to and within 8 inches of this operative. Separately roll 2d6 for each operative within 2 inches of that point. If the result is higher than the operative's remaining wounds, inflict damage on it equal to the difference, and you cannot perform this while this operative has a conceal order or within control range of enemy operatives. So this is very powerful. On average 7 damage, very useful, gets past damage negation, all this kind of stuff. Really makes the Geomancer very threatening. It does have to be on engage to do this, which is very balanced, and it is only 8-inch range, but this is cool, very cool, and it's not a shoot action. So you could shoot and then Geomantic Disturbance, and remember, while you're within your Obelisk node Matrix, you're 4 APL. So you could do Molecular Breach, Canoptek Control, Geomantic Disturbance, and shoot. You can do a lot of things with your leader. So this is amazing. It also has the breach keyword, so it can like breach through walls for an action point. Very cool. The only downside is your leader is on a 50mm base, which is quite large, but still an amazing operative. Then you've got your Canoptek Tomb Crawler. It's 2 APL, 5-inch move, 3 up save, and 21 wounds. It's if you give it the Twin Gorse Reapers, focused is 5 attacks, hit on 4s, 4-5, piercing, 1 severe, and then sweeping is 4 attacks, hit on 4s, 4-5, piercing, 1 severe, torrent 1. Then you've got the Trans-Dimensional Isolator, as I like to call it, the Shadow Realm gun. 5 attacks, hit on 4s, 5-6, Dimensional Banishment. Dimensional Banishment. After this operative uses this weapon, if you inflicted damage or retained any critical successes, if the target wasn't incapacitated, roll 2d6. If the result is higher than the target's remaining wounds, the target is incapacitated. This is amazing. Anything it doesn't kill, it will just delete. And the thing is, while within your Obelisk node Matrix, it's accurate too, and it's got unlimited range. So it has got no piercing, but the funniest thing, not only does it like effectively instantly kill elites, it will also get past medic because you didn't incapacitate them. So even if they're saved by the medic, they still die. Even like Goremongers, you know, they're limited down to 2 wounds. They don't die, they just disappear. Amazing. This operative is so cool. And then you've got Claws, 4 attacks in on 4s, 4 damage. It's got the Weapon Sentinel rule. So whenever an operative is selecting a valid target, if this operative has a conceal order, it cannot use light cover for cover, light terrain for cover, but it doesn't remove its cover save. So standard large target rules. Then you've got Steadfast. Whenever an operative is determining control of a marker, you can treat this operative's APL stat as free. If you do, this takes precedence over all other rules, meaning changes to its APL stats are ignored. So even if you make it 1 APL, it will just always count as free APL stat, free APL for controlling objectives, which is very useful. It is 50 mils and you get like 50 mil base, but you get 2 of these. So you always take 1 Reaper and 1 Trans-Dimensional Isolator. Very cool operatives. They're slow, but they're really tough. Then you've got your Canoptek Macro Site Warrior. This is your standard macro, like Canoptek construct profile. So 2 APL, 7-inch move, 4 up save, 7 wounds. It's got the Gorse Scalpel, which is 4 attacks in on 4s, 3-4 piercing 1, or the Tesla Caster. Focused is 5 attacks in on 4s, 2-3. Living Lightning is 5 attacks in on 4s, 2-3 blast. So like if you're into like Elite, you take Piercing. Horde, you take Tesla Casters. Claws and Tails are 4 attacks in on 4s, 3-4. Expendable Construct, so it's ignored for the kill op, elimination opt, and victory conditions that require it being killed. Really useful. This makes your kill team a 5 operative kill team for the kill op. Then you've got Ceaseless Scuttling. As a strategic gambit in each turning point after the first, if you have less than 3 non-incapacitated friendly Canoptek Circle warriors, you can set up another one ready with a conceal order wholly within your drop zone and can select its weapon option as normal. So you can actually change its weapon. But effectively, as long as you've got one or more out of action, you can bring one back. You can't bring all of them back at the same time, which is what I feared. So this is pretty solid. And then you've got aggressive defense. If this operative is incapacitated by an enemy operative within 2 inches of it, roll a d3. On a 2+, inflict that damage on the enemy operative to equal to the result. So if you roll a 2 or a 3 on the d3, they take 2 or 3 damage. It's a 28 mil base. Very solid. You got 3 of them. You can just kind of yeet them into the opponent. You don't care if one dies every turning point because it's just going to come back again. Has to be wholly within your territory, which is a bit limiting, but they are fast. They don't have super cover, super conceal, but they're still great. I like these little guys. Then you've got your accelerator. It has spark, 4 attacks on 4s, 2-3 range 4 piercing 1, and then claws and spark, which is 3 attacks on 4s, 3-4 lethal 5 up stun. You've got overcharge for 1 action point. Select one other friendly Canoptek Circle operative visible and within 3. Alternatively, if this operative is within your obelisk node matrix, you can select one friendly Canoptek Circle operative that is within your obelisk node matrix. Until the end of that selected operative's next activation, add 1 to their APL stat, can't do it within control range. So a more restrictive / unrestrictive comms range. Then you've got Cranial Overload for 1 action point. Select one operative visible and enemy operative visible and within 3 inches of the operative. Alternatively, if this operative is within your obelisk node matrix, you can select one enemy within your obelisk node matrix. Until the end of the enemy operative's activation, subtract 1 for its APL stat. You can't do it within control range. So you can give someone +1 APL and you can give an enemy operative -1 APL. Also on a 28 mil base. Notably doesn't have super conceal, super cover, but otherwise a really interesting comms. Then you've got your reanimator. So it's got the atomizer beam, which is 4 attacks on 4s, 3-4 range 6 lethal 5 up, and then claws and tails, 4 attacks on 4s, 3-4. It's got reanimate. Once per turning point, when another friendly Canoptek Circle operative would be removed from the kill zone as incapacitated, if that operative is visible and within 6 of this operative, or if this and that operative are within your obelisk node matrix, you can use this rule. Providing neither this nor that operative is within control range of an enemy operative, if you do, that friendly operative isn't incapacitated and has 1 wound remaining, that friendly operative can then perform a free dash action, and if this rule was used during that friendly operative's activation, the activation ends. You cannot use this rule if this operative is incapacitated. So the interesting thing, it's got a 3-inch longer range than a normal medic, and when the operative does a dash action, it can be a dash in any direction. So this is very good. Then you've got Nano Scarab Beam. For 1 action point, select one friendly Canoptek Circle operative visible to and within 6 inches of this operative. Alternatively, if this operative is within your obelisk node matrix, you can select one friendly Canoptek Circle operative within your obelisk node matrix. That friendly operative regains 3d3 lost wounds. It cannot be used on an operative that the reanimate rule was used on during this turning point, and you cannot use this while within control range of an enemy operative. So the reanimator is like going to the Technomancer on Hyrotech Circle is like, look at me, I'm the medic now. Healing 3d3, amazing. Really, really good. Great defensive operative. Remember, it's really good at keeping your leader alive. You know, you can overextend even with your spiders, but like your leader will have get down Mr. President, then have super medic, and then like next turning point you can heal. Very good. Then you've got your markers and tokens. So the really key thing to point out here is they have an obelisk node matrix template, which will accurately measure like the 6-inch range. So you do get 3 of these, which is really useful, I believe. So it's great. It's like really nice that comes. That helps so much. So you don't have to require like people to make their own first. For faction equipment, you have Matrix Manipulator. Once per battle during a friendly Canoptek Circle operative's activation or counteraction, you can use this rule. If you do, until the end of the activation or counteraction, a friendly Geomancer operative is treated as your 4th obelisk node marker. I'm not sure on this. At first I was like, oh yeah, you'll take it. But it's only once per battle, and I feel your obelisk node matrix moves so much, I don't think you really need it. It is nice if you overextend your Geomancer a bit, because then, you know, you can make it within range of the matrix to like give it defensive stuff. But I don't think you necessarily need it. Then you've got Awakened Obelisk Nodes. After revealing this equipment option, roll 1d3. You can use Animate Obelisk Nodes Firefight Ploy for 0 CP and number times during the battle equal to this result. You always take this. either 1 or 3 times you delay your activation by whatever, or you're also moving that your matrix for 6 inches for free. Like, always take it. Amazing. Then you've got Nano Scarab Caskets. Whenever a friendly operative is activated, it regains D3 lost wounds. Always take it. Very useful. And then you've got Phase Shifter. Once per turning point, when an operative is shooting a friendly Geo monster, at the start of the roll defense die step, you can use this rule if you do worse than the piercing by 1. So you can negate piercing 1 and reduce piercing 2 to piercing 1. Very useful into teams that have lots of piercing weapons. But generally, you're always taking Awakened Obelisk nodes. Obelisk, the Tormentor, and Nano Scarab Caskets. And then I think, depending on the opponent, you're taking Phase Shifter. So very useful equipment there. And then you've got the designer's commentary, where you can see there's a lot of Obelisk node markers and Obelisk nodes matrix. But it is a quite tough team to play. So I appreciate the designer's commentary here, kind of just instructing you the best way to approach the team. For the how to collect and kill team construction guide, this is very simple. The Canoptek Circle kill team is a 1-box kill team. They are a 1-box kill team, so you just always run the same loadout. Now, as I said, into elites, you will run the Gorse Scalpel and then the Tesla Cluster into the Hordes. My advice is build all your warriors with the same weapon and just tell your opponent which weapon they're using every game. No one really cares too much, and it means you won't have to buy 3 more warriors, or you could like magnetize them, I guess, if you're really dedicated. But otherwise, it's perfect. 1-box kill team. Amazing. What we like to see, just more of these. So you buy the Canoptek Circle, you have everything you need to use, and you don't really need to flex around any operatives. There is the choice about like going 2 twin Gorse Reapers, but I think you always go 1 Gorse Reaper and 1 trans-dimensional isolator. It's just too good to pass up. So just some great selection there. So for the Canoptek Circle overview, they are a very finicky kill team. It took me several reads to finally get my head of it, and you head around it, and you will need to visualize it a bit. So the Obelisk node markers and Obelisk node matrix is very interesting. But literally, once you've played it and got your head around it, it can move quite fast, especially with your ploys. So it can move up like maximum 9 inches per turning point, or even counteracting. So you could like really move it quite fast. But generally, I would have it camping your own objective and then moving on to the middle objective. Very useful there. If you wanted to be aggressive, you could and move it onto the enemy objective. But really, you kind of want to move up your kill team in a bubble, keeping them inside this like pyramid formation, which is very useful. And you're like really defensive to get around. I feel the Canoptek Circle do great into elites. You do have to remember, you basically have 3 operatives. So it's your Geomancer and 2 giant tomb crawlers doing all the work, and your warriors are just like pinging people. It's a very like interesting team. They're tough to play, but I think they're really good. I think they're great into elites. I'm kind of worried how they do into horde teams, and the fact that your reanimator and accelerator don't have super conceal or super cover means you are actually in a bit of a pickle moving into more open kill zones compared to like Hierotek Circle. But this is far more balanced than Hierotek Circle, and you know, you do have to remember, even when you're like yeeting operatives and they're inside your matrix, the moment they move out, they lose all those benefits. So if you have someone inside, you have to set up to remain free APL when you like teleport through and stage up. So you are quite predictable, but that's why you do have a comm. So even if someone has +2 APL, they're only +1, but it means if they move outside of your matrix, they're still free APL, which is very useful. So there's a lot of stuff to play around with this kill team. I think they're really good. Like, there's going to be a lot of killed elites around, and oddly, I think they're hilarious into Deathwatch, because the funniest thing is, remember, your Geomancer can just shoot, then do 2d6 damage. Then you also, and then it could charge and fight at 4 APL, which is crazy. And then also you've got the Shadow Realm gun. So if you're shooting at someone, let's say you get 5 hits, 2 go through, so you do 10 damage, they go down to 4, you roll 2d6, they disappear. It's so cool, right? I really like this kill team. I'm really tempted to play them. They have a bit of a tough selection on the TAC ops, but I think they're really good. I think they're great. They're really good at elites and even Eldari teams. I think their main weakness is hordes, but even then it's not too bad. They have a lot of anti-shooting tech, and they're surprisingly very good into melee teams. I think they're a great team to get and play. They are harder to play, especially from the 2-mod set, but they're really fun. They're also quite annoying to build. They also give off heavy Matrix vibes. If you haven't picked up the Matrix stuff I've been pushing, Mr. Anderson. But it's great. Like I kind of at first I was like, oh, I really wish they had more Necron stuff, but I really like how this Canoptek angle worked out. I think this is a great kill team. Now, I may miss how strong they are, but I think they're in a solid spot. I would say at least A tier. Very good kill team. And they're a one-box kill team, which is amazing. Great. Love it. Great work. But that's pretty much it for me today. Please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of this kill team. Are you as interested and as hyped for them as I am? And remember, I've got a Discord you can check out for free. And I've got an affiliate at Games, an affiliate and discount code at Crossfire Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. I'm just going to quickly shout out my patrons. So for my adepts of the crit, I have Tom, the Houston Toad, Supercow Nick, Mr. Meatwad, Marshall, Lucas, Graham, Fangsu Draken, Dan, Dada Goldens, Chris, Alex, Amorphium, and Alexis. So thank you so much for all your support. It really means a lot to me and helps support the channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I've got my approved ops review, which is going to be cool. And, I've reviewed everything else. But I'm really liking the Canoptek Circle. So I think I'm going to paint them like I did my Necropox Infected. So like my bronze scheme. I think, yeah, I'm really interested by this kill team. They have a lot of things that appeal to me. They're very finicky. They have a lot of ways to play around the meta. They are kind of vulnerable into horde teams, but I think they got game. But remember, no matter what happens when you're in the obelisk node matrix, you always have a chance to win as long as you can roll a crit.